Tune in every Monday morning at 10 for Get in the Know with host Marley B, providing the city of Highland Park news, information, and entertainment. Find out what's happening in Highland Park from the city's movers and shakers. Get in the Know with Marley B, Monday mornings at 10, right here on WHPR.
And welcome to another wonderful Monday morning. I am your host, Marley Blackman. Marley B, that's me. I'm also your press secretary for the City of Highland Park, giving you the information that you need to know, you want to know, and you deserve to know. Today, as always, we have a wonderful show. We are going to be sitting down and talking to Reggie Reg Davis. He is running for District 6, Northwest District for Wayne County Commissioner. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with Mr. Davis himself.
Tune in every Monday morning at 10 for Get in the Know with host Marley B, providing the city of Highland Park news, information, and entertainment. Find out what's happening in Highland Park from the city's movers and shakers. Get in the Know with Marley B, Monday mornings at 10, right here on WHPR.
And welcome back to your very own TV show, Get in the Know. Again, I'm your host, Marley Blackman. Marley B, that's me, and your press secretary for the City of Highland Park. Today I have joining me Mr. Reggie Reg Davis, our Wayne County Commissioner. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Miss Marley B?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for being on this morning.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, so tell me, what is going on with you? You are Mr. You know what? You're the man. As long as I've known you, it's been a long time, many, many years, right?
Right.
I think I met you when I was maybe 15 years old.
Wow.
15 years old.
Hold on, wait a minute. Don't tell me you sound right, but okay.
Listen, we can't probably talk about that on the air.
15.
So, you know, we grew up to get kind of on the same block on Longfellow, right?
Right.
All right, so I used to hang out with your cousins. That's closer to my age, right?
Right.
All right. So when I met you, I was 15.
Okay.
All right. So that's that connection.
I'm a little older than you are.
Yeah, just a little bit, And but I followed your career, and then we worked together at JLB, and you've just been in radio forever.
35 years this October.
Doing an amazing job. I mean, how does that feel, and where did the transition come from? All right, now I'm in the media. I have a platform. You've always used a platform wonderfully. I mean, I can't tell you how anybody else has done a great job with utilizing their platform to get out the information. You've always been connected to the youth. You've always wanted to give back to the community.
Always.
What made you go into politics?
Well, I've always had an inkling for it. Back in the day, I can't remember the gentleman's name.
Yeah.
I was campaigning when I was about 9 or 10 for this gentleman who ran for, I think it was state senate.
Okay.
Back in late 70s, early 80s, and we were campaigning around town, midtown, on a bus, an old school bus, and he had speakers, and he was saying, "Hey, I'm such and such, vote for me," and I would go out and hand stuff to people and door knock with them.
Yeah.
And I liked that. And then later, in radio at JLB, the then Governor James Blanchard, I was producing a Sunday morning talk show called Talk Back with Derek Hill.
Yeah.
And he came on the show, and we met, and I got his number. He gave me his number, and I'm like 13 years old, and I have the governor's number,
right.
13, 14 years old. And we became friends, me and Governor Blanchard. And something about that, I started really paying attention to the whole, politics and what I call it, the public service type of thing.
Yeah.
And it's just in me. And I said that it's God's part of his plan that I was supposed to be where I am, and no matter what the case is. It just so happened that in 2009, I was sitting with a gentleman by the name of Freeman Hendricks.
Yeah.
And on my talk show at 102.7 here on Sunday morning, and he said, the Charter Commission is coming about. They're looking for some great candidates to write the city's charter.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? Okay. I didn't really pretty much didn't know exactly what the charter was myself at that time. And he told me about it.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, home rule charters, the
Yeah.
bylaws of city government.
Yep.
The way that government works. It's a big book, says do's and don'ts.
Yep.
And I said, yeah, you know what? I think I like that. I ran for the seat, and ironically, it was a conflict of interest to be on the radio and to run to be, going out and trying to ask people for votes.
Right.
So that FCC, Federal Communications Commission, is called the equal time rule. If you're running for mayor, I'm running for the same seat mayor.
Yeah.
You have a mic, I don't. It's unfair.
Yeah.
So I had to come off the air. When I heard about that, I said, wait a minute. The Charter Commission only pays you $75 stipends. We meet twice a month, and that's
Yeah.
it. And I'm leaving a $150,000 gig to go to that. I can't do that. I'm not doing it.
Right.
The city clerk called the general manager of the station, and she said, hey, we can't get his name. We're not spending the money to get his name off. We can't do that. He needs to go on the air and tell everybody that he's not running if he's not going to run. This is just not fair.
Right.
Get the next guy in line a chance. I went on the air for almost 2 months saying, don't vote for me when you go to the polls. You see my name, do not vote for me. Lo and behold, came back. I got nearly 50,000 votes.
Still.
Didn't do one citywide mailer. Didn't do any campaign. And I got 50,000 votes.
But you're pretty popular, Reggie.
Yeah, I admit that that's what comes from.
Yeah. It's all about a popularity and then the great work that you're known for doing. We have a caller, and I don't want to lose them, so let's see what's going on. Hi, caller. You're live on the air with Marley B. and Reggie Davis. How are you?
Well, hello, Mrs. Carly B. My first time never calling your show.
Well, thank you so much for calling.
But I do look at you every Monday. And to my friend Reggie Valerie Clark.
Hey, Val.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. You have called this stuff. Well, you haven't called her show.
No, I called on the radio show over there, but never called her show. But listen, I want to just say congratulations.
Thank you.
And I know that you're going to get that county commissioner seat. And I am so mad that you're no longer Marley. He used to be my, what is it?
District manager.
Yeah, district manager for District 1. And when I was trying to get in contact with you, I found out then that you was over at the county. I said, what? And I didn't know. So, but I want to tell you, you did a good job over here. We all going to miss you. But then, you know what? Like you said, God takes you to another step that He wants you to be at.
That's right, Val.
So you're going to be great being over there as a county commissioner, and Mr. Leland would definitely have his guardian angels.
Rest in peace, Bert Leland. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I want to just say that. So good luck, and I will be calling you.
Thanks,
from time to time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, Val. Appreciate
Thank you so
Val.
much. Have a great
Love
Monday.
you, Val. Take care.
Thank you so much for calling in. God
Good old
bless.
Val.
Thank
Yeah, and I
you,
want to say
Mrs.
thanks
Carly.
to Burton Leland. Rest in peace. He appointed me. My brother with a Jewish persuasion had this seat, and he was cancer, took over. And he went to the mayor and he said, Mayor Duggan, I want Reggie Reg. 10 people want my seat. Reggie Reg Davis is the best guy. I love the way he works with our district. So it's still Northwest Detroit. It's the county's version of Northwest Detroit, District 6.
Gotcha.
But with the city, the council district, it's one Northwest Detroit.
Okay.
It's kind of the same. It's a little bigger on the county end. I'm north 8 Mile, west 5 Points Telegraph, south Finkel and Grand River, and I go east down to Myers.
Perfect. We got another caller. You're live. You're hot. Hi, caller. You're live on the air with Marley B. and Reggie Davis. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Davis, how are you able to recoup the $150,000 you gave up?
Say it again.
How are you able to recoup the $150,000 you gave up at the radio station?
It's a spiritual awakening, my brother. When God said, he said, look, I told you to do my work. Who am I? I said, you God. I said, who are you? I'm nobody. He said, do what I instruct you to do. I'll take care of you. So I left the $150,000 to $75 stipend for that gig, and he took care of me.
Thank you, caller, so much. Thank you so much for calling in.
Sometimes when you go spiritual, sometimes it sounds like a cartoon or fairy tale to them. But my relationship with God is very acute, and I have no problem understanding what it is I'm supposed to be doing.
Have you always had this very strong relationship with God?
Always.
Really?
I remember being 7 years of age and I had a dream to be on the radio. I was in a room in my dream with an instrument called a microphone, and I uplifted my voice in order to affect positive change in the community with folk that look like me and you.
Yeah.
And it enriched their lives, whatever I was saying in this dream.
Yeah.
And that was God telling me, this is what I want you to do. So it's always been, some people say, God, please tell me what I need to do next. I've never, ever had an issue with understanding what it is
exactly
he wanted
your
me to
calling.
do. He'd just leave a door open. If I wasn't supposed to be there, he'd close the door. It was that simple for me.
Really? So did you go to college for this? Did you go to
what?
Specs Howard?
I went to college, but not for. A lot of folk that we know on radio. I could say a lot of major names, like the Joe McBrides, Chris McClendons, et cetera, of Detroit. They all went to Specs Howard. I never had to go, and ironically, Dick Kernan, who runs that operation, in 2004, he called me up and said, "Look, we've been trying to get you to go to school since the early 80s when you started on the radio.
That's right.
And you never had to. You did all your stuff on the job.
Did you get an honorary degree?
I got an honorary degree from Specs
amazing.
Howard.
That is amazing.
Which I think is so cute. So he allowed me to speak to the graduating class and gave me a nice little plaque. I keep it at my mom's house.
That's awesome.
And I'm so thankful for that.
That is so awesome. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and dig more into your political career. But I really want to talk a lot about your transition from radio and everybody that's going to miss hearing you on the air.
Yeah.
You just came back on the air in the Detroit market.
Right.
And, I mean, oh, my God, it was like music to our ears to hear your voice. Like, it's just a staple in the community. And now you're about to come back off the air for a little bit. So we're going to talk more about that and let the people know what that is going to be like. Okay?
Absolutely. By the way, Marley, I want to say I went to Oral Roberts University in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay.
You know Oral Roberts?
Yes,
the
I do.
Television evangelist.
I do.
Right?
I do.
I loved it. Great experience.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. We'll talk more about that too. All right. All right. So stay tuned and stay locked in. We'll be right back with your girl Marley B and Get in the Know.
Tune in every Monday morning at 10 for Get in the Know with host Marley B, providing the city of Highland Park news, information, and entertainment. Find out what's happening in Highland Park from the city's movers and shakers. Get in the Know with Marley B, Monday mornings at 10, right here on WHPR.
And welcome back to your very own TV show, Get in the Know, right here in Highland Park, Michigan. I am your host, Marley Blackman. Marley B, that's me. I'm also your press secretary for the city of Highland Park. We have joined us today Mr. Reggie Reg Davis, Wayne County Commissioner. How are you?
I'm fine. Madam Press Secretary.
I know, it's so crazy, right? Who'd have thought?
Right.
Who would have thought? I love what I do, though. I love communicating to the people and making sure that we communicate to the media about what's happening in Highland Park.
Best person for the job.
I appreciate that. But you, my God, like your talent has taken you all over the place. You've been in Tampa. You've done radio. Tell me some other places that you've gone.
Los Angeles, California, my second home. Worked for Stevie Wonder at his radio station in Inglewood, KJLH, Kindness, Joy, Love, and Happiness. The afternoons there.
Doing big things. Wow.
North Carolina, Tampa, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Toledo, Ohio. I've gotten around doing radio. My talent took me around.
So it took you around the country, but brought you right back here to the D.
Every time.
I always say around the world and back to the D.
Absolutely.
You always got to come back home.
Absolutely. And speaking of home, Joy Road and Dexter's where I was born.
Right.
But I grew up 7 Mile of Woodward, and I grew up in Highland Park. I went to school at
Wow.
St. Benedict, Highland Park.
Yeah, right down
the
the
Boys
street.
and Girls Club.
Yeah.
I was there every day, all day. I started the DJ club. At the Boys and Girls Club. I'll never forget that. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So you
Ike Hoover.
Ike Hoover?
Yeah. The great Ike Hoover, director, yeah.
That's amazing. So you've always known a little bit about what you said since 7 years old.
Since I was 7 years old, I knew what I wanted to do.
That is interesting. So as Wayne County Commissioner, what's important to you?
As Wayne County Commissioner, there are a lot of things that are important. First off, I represent the legislative body of government for Wayne County.
Yeah.
Our executive, or the mayor of the county, of course, is Warren Evans.
Yeah.
My dear brother Warren. And I'm a part of a 15-member body of commissioners.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, out of that 15 members, I'm the only black man at the table.
Really?
Yes. Before I got there, the voice of the black man was not present. And I'm very happy to be there to let it be known that these are our issues. As a black man, when you go to Wayne County Jail and you look at every floor and you come back down, you're going to say some 93% that are, that population look like me. They're black men. Yet at the table of
making the
decisions, government, there's not one. So that was totally unfair.
Why is that?
Well, it's because the black men and issues that we have, and we continue to turn on the TV, and we lose. Like I lost my baby brother, Vito Davis, in 2009 as a good kid. Had all the things he's supposed to have because he did the things he's supposed to do, yet some other young men who didn't have an older brother or father steered them in the right direction took his life. And then you see on TV where a grown man walks up to a cop car and kills the officer before he gets out the car, takes his life, and then his wife says that he's mentally ill and didn't take his medicine. So it's time for us to reevaluate where that $1.5 billion that we allocate as Wayne County Commissioners, we take it and put a little bit here, there, and other places. $270 million is a part of Wayne County Health and Human Services, the committee that I'm a part of.
That's amazing.
We need to take, and they're listening to us, and I say thank you to the Wayne County Board of Commissioners for listening to what we have to present, because now it's time to take that $270 million that goes to physical health and mental health and reallocate those funds. We need to start putting funds towards preventive care, okay? Emergency care, urgent care, primary, all that. Okay, time out for that. It's time now for black men in the city of Detroit and urban cities like Detroit and Wayne County to understand about how important it is our health is. Black men, we need to go to the doctor. I've had colonoscopies. I have so many. I go to the doctor so much they tell me to get out. So I don't have those issues.
Okay.
And it's important that we find something before it starts to set in and get rid of it, instead of waiting for the type of care that I know I don't want. It's called emergency care, where they say, hey, you got stage 3, stage 4, this, that, and other, and you got a couple of days or weeks to live.
Exactly.
We don't need that. So preventive care is important. So we like to, the saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Okay.
So when you look at Wayne County, for every dollar that's allocated towards preventive care, that represents $8 in savings for treatment.
Yes.
So for every dollar we put in, we save $8 in drugs and therapy and et cetera. So if we take $10 million, which we're proposing right now, taking that $270 million, just give us $10 million. We're going to show you how that will save us $80 million in treatment, in medication, in therapy, et cetera.
Yeah.
So that's where I am. That's the most important thing. Of course, the roads.
Right.
I'm the roads guy. Wear the R like Superman on my chest. We're going to fight to make sure that those roads, the county roads, in Northwest Detroit.
Oh, the potholes.
Yeah, the potholes and everything. So we've got numbers for you to call.
There are potholes so big that'll swallow up a car.
Absolutely. So
you're
that's
working
important
on that.
to me. Yeah, those are my two most important things.
Okay.
The money, the funds are allocated towards mental health, preventive measures, and the roads. Those are top two. But we also do a lot of things like caring for seniors. We got Meals on Wheels, which is a county piece. We got county parks, lights, and many other things. But like I said, the two most important things to me and my team, and team is important to me. I wanted to say that, Marley.
We'll get into your team. Yep, we'll get into that. So let's talk more about what's important to you, and let's go back to mental illness and preventative health care measures and all of those things. So I had Chief Craig on the show a couple of weeks ago, and obviously we talked about mental. That's really near dear to his heart as well, because we lost the officer due to the gentleman shooting him before he was able to get out of the car. But this happens all over the world, and even the Florida shooting. And there's something that's happening. There's a disconnect with mental illness and firearms. I mean they're connecting themselves together, but everyone should be evaluated, and they should not be able to have a mental health illness or issue and then be able to go purchase a firearm.
Absolutely.
So we were trying to talk about how do we work together, what kind of programs can we put together to make sure that they're not going into the schools.
Absolutely.
We're when somebody's working for you, and say if you're working at a plant and you see the behavior, what do you do? Who do you put on site to make sure that they're getting the counseling that they need, so they don't come back after they're fired and shoot the place up and kill a bunch of people? So when you talk about mental illness and reallocating $270 million, tell us more about how you would actually do that, because you get a lot of people that come on and say, yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that, and we can do this and we can do that, but they never really roll out the action plan. So I want to kind of know, if bullet pointed action plan that you could tell me. Yeah.
Very good question.
Yeah.
And Marley, I'll start by saying stigma is not our friend. Stigma is the problem, especially in communities where folks look like me and you.
Yeah.
I ain't crazy. What are you talking about? Your child has been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. What? My child ain't crazy. You crazy. You leave my child alone.
Exactly.
We get that all the time.
Yeah.
So what we've done, me and my team, we're starting to assemble a great coalition of folk in Southeast Michigan, Metro Detroit. We have a team of doctors that are so interested in what we're doing. I'm talking about epidemiologists, neurologists, psychologists, psychiatrists, medical doctors, you name it. They love, many of them don't look like us. They're a lot of foreigners, but they're geniuses, they're experts when it comes to mental health and health altogether. And they see this piece, and some of them are saying, hey, we've been waiting for this. What do we need to do next? So we're bringing them, we're setting up a time where we will go before the board, make a presentation, and show how we will be able to take these funds, going to the schools. If you look at the young man down in Florida, someone said when he was much younger, he would say things like, I want to do this, I love guns. And nobody said anything about it.
Well, the FBI was alerted to him and didn't do anything about it, allegedly.
So from a legislative standpoint, myself, just on the county level, city council, our state reps, we need to come together, of course, Congress, come together and talk about programs that prevent stuff from happening. And we need to make laws now that say that our teachers need to look for signs.
Exactly.
We put into our piece that we're meeting with these doctors now. We're talking about putting in a piece where we train the teachers. We'll take schools in Northwest Detroit, Henry Ford, for an example, and we'll train the teachers how to notice signs of, hey, he may have a gun, or he likes guns, or he's just been talking about guns all the time. We talk, he said something about guns. That'll trigger the teacher to say, the light goes on, and we have to get that young man.
What is your obsession with guns, and what would you like to do with them if you got a hold to some? Yeah, just why are you so fixated on guns, or why are you so angry all the time, and why, those kinds of things? Because you're right. The first line of defense are your teachers.
Right, absolutely. So we have to, again, on the state level, county level, city level, the federal level, we all have to. I'm a part of that group that puts together the laws. And we have to now say we have to shake up whatever's going on, because it's not working.
I agree.
What's the saying, Marley? If you continue to do something over and over again, expecting a certain result,
you're
going to
get the same result.
What the crazy is.
Yeah.
So
you're gonna get
we
the same
need
result.
to immediately, and I'm doing my job. I'm not just talking. I don't even like to talk. You said, I was here today. I said, can I go on your show? You said, yeah, because I don't want to tell everybody that I am your Wayne County Commissioner. I'm not just I'm running for it, but I am your Wayne County Commissioner right now. I have an office, a budget, a great team.
You're working. He's working right now.
Yeah, but it's important that when I leave here, go to the doctors that we talk to and say, hey, let's do this. What are we going to talk about? Let's pull up the research here. Let's put these documents together. Let's go before the board and show them how this 10 or so million from that 270, we shift little numbers around, how it will work. And then we come back, show that it works, and we continue to get more money put into preventive care.
I love it.
Preventive care. Black people should never, ever have to go through to deal with emergency care. We should deal with preventive care.
I agree. Let's take this call. Hi, caller. You're live on the air with Marley B. and Reggie Davis. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Can you hear me, dear?
Yes, we can hear you just well. Good morning.
I hear you all talking about the mental health condition. A lot of our younger generation, I'm not going to say a lot, but we got to consider the children that was born to parents that used drugs, and that some of them used it while they were pregnant. And we also got to consider how they have legalized these marijuana, supposed to be medical marijuana, and these young people are these young people using that stuff. They're using it. It's supposed to be medical, but I don't know how much help it's giving them.
It's making it
so,
worse.
we got to consider drugs is playing a whole lot of part in these incidents that's happening. And we got to remember these video games that we go get our children that has all this violence on it, shooting people in the face. And these are games that we go get for our young people. So we got to consider what we putting in them. While we talking about what they're doing, what are we putting in them, and what are we encouraging them by going down these violent games? That's feeding into that to give them a mindset to want to be violent. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you so much for watching, getting the know, and thank you so much for taking the time to call in.
And she made a good point.
Yeah.
Marley. I mean, the fight for us as a people is against corporate America. When they put these video games out, those video games make money.
Yeah.
And they help to pay the body of people that support these big businesses.
Yes.
And that's another fight in itself. But she makes a great point. Opioids and all those are the things that young people get a hold of, and they become addicted. So all of the doctors that I mentioned that we speak of, we have some specialists in that area as far as the drug, the overuse, and using prescription drugs and things like that. They're part of our team as well. So it all goes together. But it starts with our young people. The saying is we have a partnership with the National Alliance on Mental Illness. Kevin Fisher, who's a native of Highland Park.
Really?
His brother. He's the head of the Michigan chapter for the National Alliance on Mental Illness.
We have a lot of good people that come
Highland
from
Park,
Highland Park.
absolutely.
Wow.
Represent
Okay.
HP. And he talks about how mental illness, the onset, it starts primarily at the age 14.
Yes.
So these are junior high, first time in high school students who are really starting to get into certain activities to lead into some type of mental illness. So we need to understand that it starts with our kids. We need to go into the middle schools,
Yes.
elementary schools,
Yes.
and start to talk to these kids, because you never know what's going on at their homes. Okay, Ceasefire Youth Initiative is a nonprofit that started as a result of my late brother's assassination, and myself, my family, my chief of staff, Machete Muhammad, we operate this piece, and we go into the schools, and on every level, from a Head Start, reading books to the kids, through elementary school, middle school, high schools. We try to find these kids. Now that we're able to sit down and have a team like these doctors that want to help, and the funding that we could get, from the county level,
right.
This is a chance for us to start to see some difference.
So where are you finding these doctors? Are they just they understand your mission and your goal, and they're coming to you, or are you seeking out for them?
Well, they've been looking for someone like us, and then we saw them and we went to them, and they're excited, like, wow, where have you been? We need someone who looked like you, who has what you have,
right.
to help represent, so you can bring us to the table.
Right.
They've been sitting and ready to go with this.
Yeah.
And now you see what I'm saying? So it's the opportune time.
Yeah. Do you think that it's important for? I always say, so you go to the doctor to take care of your physical health, right? But your brain, your mental health is what runs and operates everything,
Absolutely.
right? But we don't want to go sit down and talk to anyone because we think that we're crazy.
Yeah, stigma.
We don't really want to concentrate on the brain and the mental of how everything functions. I think more so today than any day ever, we have so much pressure, and we have so much to deal with, and it's just so many things that we're thinking about and trying to figure out, and sometimes it gets a little crazy in there, and you just don't know how to separate it.
Right.
And I think that more so our young people have more on their plates than being able to
adolescents.
Absolutely.
They're in between a child and an adult.
Absolutely.
And they're trying to find themselves.
Absolutely. And then with the whole social media, not really knowing how to communicate really well, other than being on a text or on Facebook or Instagram or something like that.
And then the definition of mental illness, Marley, it's like what is mental illness? Some people, when they hear it, it's like a cartoon character. One guy, his eyes hanging down here, and he's Looney Tunes. No, I mean, it can get words like anxiety,
stress,
stress,
depression,
anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder. And you get to the other words that are more dynamic with it, but it's a lot of different things that represent mental illness. It's the mind. When we talk about post-traumatic stress disorder, of course, when folk go away to fight in a war and they've seen a lot of people getting killed, they come back, they can't deal with that PTSD.
Absolutely.
But our young people in urban cities like Detroit, they deal with post-traumatic stress disorder. When a young man, the 5 young men responsible for my late brother's assassination, they were between the ages of 16 and 20.
Did they get caught? Are they serving time?
Absolutely.
Okay,
I wanted a microphone. We got them in a very short period of time.
Perfect.
2 of them did life sentence, and the others, played a role as far as serving time as well.
Okay, good.
But the thing of the matter is, they were experienced with post-traumatic stress disorder when they didn't have a father, an older brother, to steer them in the right direction. Their mother had to work all the time, so they hardly ever saw their mother. She tried to keep the lights on.
Right.
So we expect them to go to school, young man. So he gets up, he's going to school, but in order to get to the bus stop, he's got to pass dead dogs, dead bodies, illegal dumping, abandoned structures, firehouses. He's got to pass that to get on the bus to go to school. Then he never gets a chance to go even across 8 Mile, much less out of state or out of the country.
To see something
so
different.
They don't see anything different. And their mind begins to say, oh, this is what the world is about.
Yeah.
And it becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. And mine is like, your whole mind is like, wait a minute, it's more than that, but you don't know anything about that part. So that's post-traumatic stress disorder.
But what happens, that's interesting that you say that, because what happens is when you don't experience, when a young person doesn't experience or think there's something more to the world or to life, then they settle and say, well, if this is it, then I might as well do that. Because it doesn't matter. There's nothing else that I'm going to get out of it. I don't have anything to look forward to.
Absolutely.
We have another call. Let's take it. Good morning, caller. You're live on the air with Marley B. and Reggie Davis. How are you?
Good morning, fine, and I'm enjoying the program.
Good morning to you.
Thank you.
I was wondering, I believe that every teacher should have at least 1 year of child psychology, and I believe that would be very important, because I remember back in the day, I'm in the 50s. I went to Benedict College in Columbia, South Carolina, back in the 50s, and if you were going to be a teacher, you had to have child psychology and adult psychology. And I tell my kids today, a lot of times I say, oh, no, I understand. Oh, yeah, I can understand people very well.
Yes.
And I was just wondering about that. And the plan that he was talking about the preventative care, he was on the roll with that. I want to say that. I'm enjoying the program, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much for calling in. Absolutely.
And she's absolutely right. I think that teachers should be required. It should be mandated that teachers, before they get their certificates and whatever else, they need to take some sort of child psychology courses. That's very important.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we want to do with the piece that we're allocating the funds for.
Okay.
So I think that that's something I want to bring up before the board. Talk to the doctors about it, and let's see if we could get our teachers to because I don't think they need guns. I don't think we should give our teachers guns. I think the president was that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's a bad idea.
That's a whole nother nightmare.
Yeah, because that'll create thank you.
That's a whole nother nightmare. It
Exactly.
is. It just is. It'll create such a debacle that it'll just be unmanageable
that's
and just
we don't
that's not the way to fix things. You can't fix hate with hate. You got to fix fix hate with love. So we got to do things a little bit
and that's
differently.
important. You just said a key word, which I believe is ultimately the main problem with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Even with our kids that start out at 14 liking guns and whatever else happens after that.
Yeah.
Many times leading to mental illness. The term love, we are a community, a society that it lacks two things: love and God.
Yeah.
We keep removing God from the equation and love from the equation, and we're going to continue to see everything that goes against those two things.
That's interesting that you say that. So I have one child, and he's 14 now, but ever since he's been on this earth, I've always put him in a faith-based educational environment. And the reason why is because everything else scares the crap out of me, because you don't know if there's a common denominator of how children are being raised. But you do know if they're sending their kids to a school that's faith-based, at least they all believe in one thing, and that's God. So that's right. So not to say that, they're not regular kids and they don't mess up and they don't do things, but it's at least I know that everybody is going to mass, everybody is believing in God, everybody at least has to hear the word of God in the school.
And
prayer. Absolutely, absolutely. So we got to put that back into it. So we're going to take a quick break with Reg Davis. We're having so much fun. There's so much to talk about with so many things that we haven't covered. We have such a short time in our program, but we're going to come back and we're going to try to close out with him and get more information from him. He is your Wayne County Commissioner right now. He's at work. He has an office. He has a budget, and he's working for you. And a great team. So stay tuned and stay locked in. We'll be right back.
Tune in every Monday morning at 10 for Get in the Know with host Marley B, providing the city of Highland Park news, information, and entertainment. Find out what's happening in Highland Park from the city's movers and shakers. Get in the Know with Marley B. Monday mornings at 10, right here on WHPR.
And welcome back to your very own TV show, Get in the Know. I am your host, Marley Blackman. Marley B, that's me, giving you the information that you want to know, you need to know, and you deserve to know. I want to thank WHPR Studios right here in Highland Park and our wonderful mayor, Mayor Hubert Yap, for giving us the platform to be able to share with you every Monday from 10 to 11 about things that's going on and information that we think that you deserve to know. I want to make sure that I don't fail to mention that Comcast has just bought MyCom cable. So you will be able to have Comcast cable, the option of Comcast in your home. So stay tuned in and locked in for that information to come directly to your home. I had the VPs of Comcast on not too long ago to share with you that information. They're going to be running some PSA commercials during our show next week to make sure that you have the information and all the numbers and everything. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give me a call at 313-868-0342. Again, that's 313-868-0342. So we're joined again with Reg Davis, Wayne County Commissioner, and we're just having a really great conversation. People are calling in like crazy, and then I don't know, maybe they're scared now. They're kind of calling in and hanging up, calling in and hanging up. So tell me about, people say that you're only as good as your team, right? Because you can't do everything yourself.
Right.
You can think of what you want to do, but when it comes time to implement them, you need a good team to implement those things. Right. So let's talk about your team. How did you go about creating your team, selecting the people, and then working together with them?
Right. So I have there's a young lady by the name of Yelena Ramatar. She's our legislative aide.
Okay.
She works out of the office. We're downtown 500 Griswolds on the 7th floor, and she mans that office, and she takes care of business. She's from the district, from O'Hara Park Community Association. She represents that area, Henry Ford High School and the big church over there and everything. And she has a degree in political science. She is an educator.
Okay.
She worked out of Schoolcraft College and some other universities. So I drafted her, and she's on the team, and I'm very proud to have her there. And a young man who is my chief of staff, he goes by the name of Machete Muhammad.
Okay.
Machete like the knife.
Okay.
Muhammad. And he and I have been walking the same walk for quite some time, for many, many moons.
Okay.
And this brother is like, imagine you do a line of work and you're able to pick up the phone, call your mentor.
Yeah.
He said, hey, can you come work with me? And they say yes. And then they're on your team. This is that same case.
Okay.
My mentor, he's my brother. Like a life coach to me.
Okay.
He's a brother from another mother, same father, as I like to say.
Okay.
And I'm very happy to have him on the team. He's
wonderful.
Has a wealth of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding about life, about us as a people, our history, the Bible, the Torah, the Quran, the dictionary, the encyclopedia, many books. He could sit down and discuss them very well and break them down. He's that type of person, and I'm just very proud to have him on the team.
Wonderful.
And Yelena as well. So I do have a great small team. He's the chief of staff, just 3 of us, but he's the chief.
Okay, he's the chief. All right, so another thing, we talked about senior services, and then you're doing some things with veterans, right?
Well, yeah, the Wayne County has a piece called Wayne County Health, Veterans, and Community Wellness Service.
Okay.
And we always want to pay special attention to our veterans, to our seniors and our veterans.
Yes.
So I say,
without them, we wouldn't be here.
So it's almost hard to say, most importantly, the roads and mental health. But because of the magnitude of things going on with us today, when you turn on the TV right now at 12 o'clock news, and you turn it on, I hope it doesn't happen, but you may see a story about someone with a gun, and then it goes back to mental health. So, but the veterans and our seniors are very, very important to us. And anybody that may have in Northwest Detroit or anywhere in the city of Detroit a veteran or some seniors, make sure you call our offices, and we'll tell you the different programs like Meals on Wheels for seniors that we do have.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So, is this the ultimate for you?
I don't want to say the ultimate, because when you're doing God's work,
you never
don't know.
You never know.
He could send me a sign today to close the door where I'm right now, and he may say, I want you to go work at the zoo and work with the elephants and stand there and teach the kids about nature and wildlife. I don't know.
But you would do it. You'd be down
absolutely,
for the cause.
I'm ready to go. Because a lot of people say, well, you're leaving radio. Why? I love you. You Reggie Ray's our cousin from the radio. don't leave radio, and I respect that. And thank you so much to people who feel that way. But my work is far more important than just me loving me and understanding who I am. It's much deeper than that. It's about God and the work that He has in line for me. So again,
That's so
whatever He
refreshing
says
to
I need
hear
to
that.
do, I'm
Yes.
going to do that. If
That's
I want,
right.
if it was about me, I'd still be on the radio. I'd be on the radio somewhere in New York making a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
But that's not what this is about.
Yeah.
All right,
Because when you came back to Detroit, you instantly connected yourself with the community.
Absolutely. It's always
Instantly.
been, that's all it's about is the community. Everything I've ever done in my whole life. I was a 12-year-old kid on the radio, and I would go to a school, Marley, and I would say, 12 years old, just like a zombie, go to the school. Hey, Madam Principal, can I talk to the kids in the class? Okay, going down to the science class, talk to the kids. And I'll say, I'm a kid, they're kids too. They're a little younger. I'm saying, you could be the president, you could be on the radio, you do whatever you want to do. Here are the ingredients to success. Be determined, persevere, don't let anybody get you down, and keep God first. You can have anything you want. And I walk out. And so I've always done it. I've been on, when I was on the air. We play the music. The radio stations give out concert tickets and, money and different parties,
Yeah.
whatever. So it wasn't about that to me. It was about connecting the people, using that mic to help people. So I would refer to all my listeners as my cousin. So when they're hearing that, they feel like we're family. And I would
Yes.
give out my personal cell phone on the air, and I've saved lives doing that, Marley. I've actually literally saved lives because someone would be down and depressed, and they'd hear me on the radio playing their favorite music, and then I come on and say, hey, young lady, you got a problem, call me. Young man, you're in a gang, call me. And they would say, and I'll say, okay, cousin. And I'll say, here's my number. And they say, wait a minute, that's my cousin. Let me see if this is real. Hello?
And he
Reggie
really
Reg?
answers.
Oh, listen, I got a problem. My daddy ain't with it. And I helped him. So that's what this is all about. Always about community for me.
That's
about the
awesome.
people.
Give me a high five.
You
I
gonna say it,
love
Marley.
that. I love that.
You know my people. You know where I come from. You know my granddad. and
I know your whole
Granddaddy
family.
Herman
I
and
know
worked for Ford
everything.
Motor Company. You know where I come from.
Listen, I know more about you than
Right,
you
my
think
father,
I know.
right? You know my father. Yeah, you know
Me
my
and your
father.
father like
right.
this.
So
That's my
you
boy.
know where I come from. The apple don't fall too far from the tree. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit different.
Right, a little bit different, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
My
A
dad,
little
what I get from my dad is the go-getter. I've always been a
Oh, he's that-
go-getter.
oh, my
You know he
God.
got that. Now he may have went and got something somewhere else a little different, but bless his heart, that's my father,
The
and I
same
get that
thing,
from
the
my
same
father.
thing. Yeah,
Right.
same thing.
Right, that's my dad. Love him to death.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
love him too. That's my boy. That's my homeboy. And so one thing I can say about the two of you, you guys don't age.
But
Your
see, I
father,
remember my
your
dad.
father looks younger than you.
But see, because he wears that black shoe polish in his hair, okay? This is my natural me. And I love it that I got the gray. I want everybody to see I'm not a kid.
he looks,
I'll be 50 years
and
old.
he acts younger than you.
Right. And I laugh. I've always been a grown man. I've always been an old man, little body. That's just me. I by nature. You know what I mean? I was 12 years old. I see like an old man. And I never wanted to do the 12-year-old things. But
Yeah.
I love my gray.
Well,
Okay,
looks
what'd you say?
good. You're wearing it well.
Right.
Distinguished gentleman. All right, so let's talk about radio. Then we're going to close out. We're going to miss you. Are you going to come back? Are you going to have the opportunity to kind of come back and let us hear your voice over the air?
Yeah, so the Federal Communications Commission's equal time rule says that when one is signed on to run for office,
Yes.
and then you go past the filing deadline, April 24th. But I'm signed up to run. When you do that, you cannot be on the air. So the August primary is the first Tuesday in August, and the radio station I'm with now, 105.1 The Bounce.
I
Beasley.
love. Shout
Yeah.
out to Al Payne.
What up, Al?
What up, Al?
Yeah, so Beasley Media Group says that they welcome me back if I want to come back after,
Awesome.
when the race is over. I'm welcome to. So,
Awesome,
Yeah, they're
awesome.
still there waiting for
That's-
me.
that's
Radio's
wonderful.
my baby.
That's awesome. Okay, wonderful. Good stuff. All right, so anything you want to say? How can we find you?
Absolutely.
All
So-
of your social media handles,
Yeah.
phone numbers, all that stuff.
Make
Give
sure I
it to
get it
our
right.
listeners or viewers.
Absolutely. So I am your Wayne County Commissioner, Reggie Reg Davis. I represent District 6, which is Northwest Detroit, and the boundaries are North 8 Mile, West 5 Points Telegraph, South Finkel, Grand River, and East Myers. I represent 145,000 residents. 100,000 of them are registered voters, and only 16,000 vote. But
Oh, we
that's
gotta change
amazing.
that.
16,000 out of 145,000.
What can we do? We got to
Crazy.
figure that out.
So yeah, but anytime you got a question, you need us to come and me and my team to speak to you, to bring you anything. Just give us a call, and I always give my number out. It's because I forget our office. Oh, office number is 313-224-0884, 224-0884, and my personal cell, because I say if you elect me or I work on your behalf,
I do
You
the
don't call
same
my
thing.
office, call me.
Right.
So my number, I've been giving my number out since I was a kid,
So
and I'm not
have
going
I.
to stop. 313, I want to help save lives.
Yeah.
544-6312. That's 313-544-6312. And it's myself, Yelena Ramatar, and Machete Muhammad, our chief of staff. We're very happy and proud to represent you, Northwest Detroit, District 6, the office of Wayne County Commissioner Reggie Reg Davis. So thank you.
Oh, that's
And
it.
thank you, Marley.
Thank
for
you.
having
That
me.
was
I
that.
appreciate you.
That was that old radio closing. Reggie Reg Davis.
Right.
So listen, is this the Brightmoor community? Are you?
Well, Brightmoor, we do have North Brightmoor. That's north of Finkel. We don't have the heart of Brightmoor anymore. I did with the city.
Okay.
We went down to Schoolcraft, but
Okay.
now we're north of Finkel.
Got it.
Yeah,
It.
So we
All
do
right.
have the northern part of Brightmoor between
Perfect.
Grand River and Finkel.
Perfect. All right, you guys heard it from Reggie Reg Davis himself. Make sure you give him a call if you need anything. He is, like me, willing to help. You can always call me. You know how to find me. I give out my cell phone number all the time as well. I'm accessible all the time, 24/7. If you want to call into the studio, you want us to cover something that is near dear to your heart, or you want us to interview someone, please don't hesitate to call the studio at 313-868-0342. We're right here at WHPR Studios on Victor Street in Highland Park, Michigan. I'm also your press secretary for the city of Highland Park, Marley Blackman. Marley B, that's me. Until next week.
Give me my hug, Marley.
Mwah! I love
Yeah,
you.
give me my hug.
Mwah.